This video was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, you parasympathetic ganglia.
I'm basically an art god at this point. I made this wire tree out of wire. I can't even believe it. Can you believe it? No, because I can't even believe it. Look at this.
I want that.
Well, then I think we should make that. I love bonsai trees. I always have, ever since I was a little kid, but I've tried growing them throughout the years and I always end up killing them. So I figured, why not make one that won't ever die? Also, stick around to the end if you want to know how you can win this bebe one that I prepared earlier. Before we jump into it, I have a friend that's going to tell you a little bit more about bonsai.
The Japanese word bonsai literally translated means planted in a container. Although most people think bonsai was started by the Japanese, it was actually started by the Chinese. The Chinese started creating miniature landscapes over 2,000 years ago. During the Kamakura period 700 years ago, the Japanese adopted the art form, and from that moment on, a distinctive new style emerged. Instead of entire landscapes, the Japanese started growing individual trees. These trees are what we know today as bonsai. Bonsai! Bonsai has nothing to do with any variety or species of tree. It's all in how the tree is trained to grow. There are also many different styles and ways to train bonsai. There's broom, formal upright, informal upright, slanting, cascade, literati, windswept, double trunk, forced, root over rock, and many more. I'll be focusing on the informal upright, root over rock.
Thanks, David. That was very cool. Okay. Stop that. Thank you. Now that you know a little bit more about bonsai, take a look down here. Alright, today I'm going to focus on informal upright, also known as moyogi, and the root over rock, which is called seki joju, I think.
Seki myoju.
Anyways, informal upright starts with the nabari, or root formation. It's supposed to flare out. And to imitate a mature tree, you want it to go from wide at the base, narrowing and having a flowing motion as you go up. Usually there's going to be a branch on the outside curve of the trunk, not on the inside curves. But you don't want it too symmetrical and perfect. You want it to be sort of varying and natural looking. I know that's super crude, but that's sort of you're going for with an informal upright. We're gonna now put it into wire. Okay. Here are some of the tools and materials you'll need. Some aluminum wire, tiny pots, Mod Podge, epoxy, some green stuff for modeling, a bag of moss, a hatchet, an assortment of wire cutters and pliers. These are round nose wire bending pliers and they are very useful. A unicycle, a bucket about this size, and another bucket about this size. To start off, you'll want to take your wire and start wrapping it around the larger bucket. I found this method actually quite handy. Put a weight in the center of the wire and then just turn the bucket. Like that. Go ahead and remove the wire and cut it right down the middle on one side. Now, you have a whole bunch of wires, all the same length. Now, on to the next step. Okay, before we go any further, I must warn you that my ADD definitely shows in this video. It's more or less a look into the way my mind works, so buckle up. Okay, now let's get to drilling. Okay, the reason I drilled those holes will become apparent in just a moment. Once you get all the holes drilled, go ahead and thread the wire down through each hole. Like that. You can see all the wires up under there. These will be the roots. By the way, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, the reason for the holes is so that the root section does not twist with the trunk. Ooh. Alright, I want to twist it even tighter, so I'm gonna go get a tool. Alright, I'm back. I have this, it's a pair of pliers, and I don't want to damage the aluminium, so I'm gonna wrap it with this towel. I twisted it till about right there. I don't want to go much further because I'm going to start putting out a branch where my first curve is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this with some electrical tape, and that will stop it from unraveling. Like that. Aww. Now I'm going to pull out some strands, twist it up again. That will be the first branch coming out right here. Put a little bend in it, pull those out, kind of back and forth, and just keep going up.
Okay, like I just said, I'm peeling off a section, and that will be the first branch. As I go up, I am separating off more and more branches, twisting up the trunk, and adding some electrical tape so that it does not unravel. I actually feel this may have been unnecessary. I also gave it a haircut because I felt the wires on top were just a bit long. Beautiful.
This is taking forever. You know what is way more exciting than twisting up wire for hours on end? It's
Raid Shadow Legends!
And thanks so much to them for sponsoring today's video. Forget everything you know about mobile games, because one of the most ambitious RPG projects of 2019 has just been released, and it's going to change everything. Introducing Raid Shadow Legends. Playing Raid is the most immersive experience you'll find on a smartphone, and it can only really be compared with the biggest PC and console titles. And the best part? It's completely free. It has an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. Personally, I think the game is amazing, but you don't have to take my word for it. With more than 200,000 reviews, Raid has almost a perfect score on the Play Store. So what I want you to do is go to the description, click my special link, and if you are a new player, you will get 200,000 silver and the super rare champion Grinner. All of this treasure will be waiting for you in your inbox, but hurry, the rewards will only be available through my link and for the next 30 days. Now, let's get back to the bonsai. It's beautiful! Not really. You can see we've got the windy trunk. It goes back and forth, and at the end of each curve, there is a branch. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start dividing each of these, starting from the top, into smaller branches. Then I'll start twisting up the leaves. Just remember that branches are kind of like fractals. For example, we've got it twisted up like this, and then 2 of each will be twisted. See how we've got 1 that divides into 2, that divides into 2, and then these will bunch up into the leaves. And the way you do the leaves is,
You take your wire and your wire bending pliers, and you bend a loop in it. Like that. Then you bend another loop, but have that loop go on top of the other one. Then keep switching directions so one loop is resting on top of the other one, and so on. You'll find that it will naturally want to curve on you, and that is actually a benefit. You want it to twist up, that way it will create the little bunch of leaves. Like that.
let's do it! Alright gamers, remember the unicycle from earlier? Well, that is mandatory to have because we're gonna have to take a break from twisting up some of those wires.
Let off some of that pent-up energy.
What I'm doing is, you can see here, once I twist up all the wires and make the little branches the way I want them, then on each end, I am cutting these off at different lengths. That way, the little clusters of leaves will all be different sizes as you twist them up. So it adds, a little more realism, a little bit more of an organic feel to it. That's how we have it at the moment. It's looking pretty juicy. All right, let's carry on.
Guys, I think I'm losing it.
All right, now that we have it to this point, what we're gonna do is some initial styling of the branches. So essentially what I'm gonna do is take my little pliers and make the branches look natural. So not all flat, but have like a weighted look to them, because that will make the tree look older. Also positioning the leaf clusters so that it will reveal as much of the branch structure as I can. So let's do that. Here's all the extra wire that I ended up not using. It's all the little bits that I cut off and, some extra pieces, but don't worry, I'm not gonna throw it away. Oh no, I'm going to put it to good use. Okay, it's not perfect, it's not completely finished. Honey? Honey! We need to pull it out of the bouquet and then start shaping the roots. So let me show you how to do that. By the way, when I say let me show you how to do that, I'm saying let me show you how I'm gonna figure out how to do it, because I've never done it before. If you just put your mind to it and realize that it's gonna take some dadgum time, you can do it too, because I did it. You better do it. I'm just kidding. I love you. Okay, we pretty much got our little bonsai to where we want it. As you can see here, turn around. Okay, the roots are mostly done. What I want to do now is, I want to put this on here, but this is too big. This is one of those magical ionizing salt lamp things. It won't fit in the pot. You can see there, it's a little too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this base off. I'm going to use the LED that's still in there, but I'm going to try to break it down to make it a little bit narrower and maybe a little shorter, so that way we can still wrap the roots around it and then it will fit in our little pot. So we're gonna take that base off, then we're gonna go in the garage and let off a little pent-up aggression. Now that the epoxy is dry, let's cut off all of this excess root. Okay, now that we have all of that done, we need a way to secure the bonsai to the pot and also create kind of a mound of dirt that we're going to cover with the moss. And what I'm gonna use to do that is some stuff called milliput. It's a two-part epoxy clay sort of stuff that you mix together, part A and part B, in equal amounts, smoosh it together until it's one color, and then, well, it's just like a clay, but it hardens without baking it. So what I'm gonna do is use the black and a terracotta color. It comes in different colors. I'm gonna mix these together. Hopefully it will create some sort of a brownish color. And then once that's hardened, which it will in like a couple hours, we're gonna put on the moss on top. And then it'll be done. Hey guys. Now that my masterpiece is complete, let's ship it to Ian. I need you to make sure this makes it to Mr. Dubs. It's very important.
Okay, man. I will take care as good as possible.
Okay, thanks, dude.
Thank you, man.
It's perfect.
Alright guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and remember, all you need is a little creativity, some aluminum wire, a salt rock, a hatchet, a unicycle, and you can make this too. I promise. It's just twisting wires. Also, I never ask this because, I don't know, I just never think about it, but if you would be so kind as to hit the like button on this video if you liked it, and leave a comment, what it does is it helps tell the YouTube algorithm that people like this video and they should share it more. So it helps me out, it helps you out. I'm not really sure how. And now what you've really been waiting for. If you want to win this, all you have to do is go follow me on Twitter. It's at BobbyDukeArts. I'm gonna post a link to this video. All you gotta do is retweet it, and what I'll do is, out of all the people that follow me and retweet it, I will just randomly select one of you. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. I will ship this directly to you, free of charge, a one-of-a-kind Bobby Duke Arts. So go ahead and like that smash button, subscribe, and go check out Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, bye.
Watch out, watch out!
What, you think you could just talk to my girl like that and not have any consequences?
Oh, heck no. All right. Oh, look, I got negative ions. I'll improve your mood. Shut up. Okay. Okay.